At the end of the original video presentation for this project, I had suggested that I might want to return to the theme of the potential that we believe this project has for ultimately becoming very, very broad-based, or quote-unquote going viral. And I wanted to expand a bit on that. One of the points that I emphasized in the text portion, the text profile of the project, to justify that general idea was the example given of the dramatic increase, and this was largely in the context of suggesting that there is a very, very significant untapped audience or market or opportunity for really substantive content, engaging substantive content. And to justify that, I cited the dramatic explosion in recent years of successful and often very, very substantive and serious scientific popularizations, very well-known books of scientific exposition. Another example that might be cited for very extensive completely volunteer participation, of course, is open source software. And for those familiar with these themes, you may very well be aware of the fact that there have been many books and much discussion around the social and economic implications associated with that level of purely volunteer participation in producing what ultimately may turn out in many cases to have been commercially very, very successful software production. And that really kind of begs the question about motivation. And in this sense, and this is really what I wanted to focus on here in terms of justifying the feeling that we have that longer term the Aquarian Covenant could quote-unquote be viral by generating something perhaps very comparable in terms of that level of participation. And probably the best way to contextualize this may be by citing the recent, quite significant book by Daniel Pink entitled Drive: The Surprising Truth About What Motivates Us. And the three factors that he cites as distinctive from the old paradigm of carrot and stick motivation are autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And even just simply citing those terms will probably make it pretty intuitive and self-evident how those factors would be the deciding factors in the tremendous proliferation of volunteer participation in something like open source software, and how it might be even more pronounced in the context of the kind of content that is intended to be the focus of the Aquarian Covenant, as characterized in primarily the text profile for this project. And so that is really the main point that I wanted to emphasize. Whether you define viral in the sense of, if you define viral in the sense of hitting 10 million views in 3 days or something, that's not what I had in mind. But in terms of, over the long term, of cumulatively building a real community of participants, analogous to the example of open source software, and growing in a self-referential way, that is something that we feel very strongly is a very real possibility, and that I felt was worth returning to and expanding on. Thank you.